this month, President Biden tripped while handing out diplomas at the U.S. Air Force Academy's commencement ceremony. The 80-year-old commander-in-chief is the oldest sitting president in U.S. history. As the race for 2024 begins to heat up, we asked our opinion contributors, one on each side, to debate whether age should be a factor as he seeks another term. Our first question: how can Biden show his constituents he is ready for 4 more years?
All right, so here's the thing. Biden is an old man. Trump is an old man too. They're only 4 years apart. Trump is 76. Biden is 80. Trump is the one with the horrific appetite for McDonald's. He's too damn old to be eating McDonald's. So if we talk about who's healthier, okay, right? You really want to have that debate? But let's talk about the reality of constituents, because that part is very important. Joe Biden can secure his constituents, can secure them if he simply delivers a policy agenda. Politics has become about personality, but it was designed to be about policy. It was designed to be about who could effectively deliver the policy values of the base. That's happening to some level with the Democratic Party, but not to the level that we would prefer. It's happening on another level with conservatives. These policies are so adverse that individuals on the left could never agree with some of the ideology coming from DeSantis or Trump and others. So all Biden has to do is deliver what he ran on. If he does that, he's secured, because most of the country believed in those policies. That's how he gets the confidence of his constituents.
I'm not sure that President Biden should be running for office because of his age. You know, I read a quote that "'tis a proud man who thinks the world will stop if he does." What President Biden should do is resign. He should let people know that he is not irreplaceable. It is very difficult for anyone to watch someone aging. We know this in our own families, but to watch the President of the United States deteriorate right in front of the world is very, very difficult for anyone that actually cares about humanity, cares about aging, cares about our country, because you've got to be quick on your feet to be able to guide our country into its future, to have a brilliant future. And there are many, many people, especially these progressives, that they can go ahead and be a progressive and run for office. I think the main reason that Biden is even still there is because the Democrats know that Kamala Harris is very weak, and yet if they try to replace her, then they will lose the Black community. African Americans are already in droves moving from the Democrat Party. They're not going to the Republican Party, they're going to independents. So if they violate, in their opinion, Kamala Harris by replacing her, I think the Dems know that they may lose a whole lot more of their so-called voters and constituents. But Biden should leave his office. This is just embarrassing at this point.
Second question: Trump isn't much younger. Is there a difference between their mental and physical acuity?
All right, so here's what we do know. We do know that Trump had a doctor basically say he was perfect. All right, so nobody's perfect. We also know that as we get older, we naturally decline. I think it's a mistake to start getting into ageism because all of us have parents and grandparents and uncle and aunts who are older. What politics is about is your ability to understand the policy issue and to deliver the policy agenda. It was a Republican, the former Attorney General appointed by Donald Trump himself. It was a Republican named William Barr, they call him Bill, who said Trump does not have the ability, the focus to deliver the policy agenda conservatives believe in. So while people can wax poetic about the health and the decline, listen, Trump obviously is not the healthiest person. Biden is an older gentleman. He's not going to be a spring chicken, nor will he act like it. But when you have Republicans saying that one person does not have the mental clarity, does not have the mental or linear focus in order to deliver a policy agenda, well, that directly impacts the reason you are a politician in the first place.
Well, we know that people age differently, and some people are very sharp regardless of their age. Some people, even in their teens, have weaknesses. So it's not about their age in comparison to each other. It's about whether we need someone well into their senior years to lead the country. If we're saying as a nation that the only way that we can continue into our future is to have two older gentlemen at the helm of the presidency, we should ask ourselves what happened to that next generation? Why would they be so weak? President Trump is being called out because of his age. It's not just whether he is fit or not, or whether he plays golf or not. It's about quickness and all of the new technology. We're looking at AI out there. We're looking at a whole lot of different changes in the technical world where younger energy does matter at the table. And so I think that, as I said, "'Tis a proud man who thinks the world will stop if he does," is a real appropriate quote when we're talking about who will lead the free world, the nation of America, into this next 4 years, 8 years. I do agree that we need quite a bit of time as conservatives to undo a lot of the social engineering that the left has put into our country and changed our entire culture. So this is a question that the GOP is asking themselves, and many of the candidates are asking, is Trump the only one that can lead us into the future?
Last question. Does Biden's age equate to more experience?
No, age does not equate to more experience. Experience equates to experience. So the reality of age is always a conversation. Sometimes someone runs for president, people say they're too young. Other times, they are too old. That debate is absent of the facts or the reality needed in order to govern. If you understand the policies and you have a connection with your base and you are advocating and have the focus to deliver them, that's the important part of politics. So I don't think that experience and age go hand in hand. I think experience and execution go hand in hand. Experience does not always come in the political realm. Doesn't need to always be political. You can have great experience in one area that's transferable to the other. But even more than experience, it's integrity. The integrity factor still has to be important. We have gotten away from it in politics because of the de-evolution of the industry known as politics in America. But trusting a person without knowing exactly what their policy stance may be on every minute detail of everything that could possibly come up is still important. There are not enough questions posed at a debate to where you would know everything a person would do in every given situation. Nor do you know if they will say one thing to you and do something else behind the scenes. So trusting the individual is still important in politics.
We all know that age is experience, and experience does matter when we're making quick decisions, whether we're making long-term decisions. That's why so many people have so much respect for their granddads. This is one of the reasons that we as a society should be concerned about what has happened in family collapse. When we don't have that generational pass on, we lose something. We lose a lot of wisdom and instruction and knowledge. But all of that being said, it doesn't mean that they have to be the president of the country. If the senior population is doing what normally happens in generational pass on, then there is a generation that can take that baton and take us into the future in an environment that's forever changing. We have some really big pressing issues in our society. Just when we're talking Social Security alone, when you're talking about the seniors that are dependent on it, that were there when it started, is a very different generation than youth that are on the internet all the time, buying Bitcoin, doing all type of investment on their own. And then yet we're not supposed to have a discussion about Social Security and reforming it into personal accounts. So there are many, many places and many, many examples to where youth does matter. It matters in our businesses. It matters in our family. The energy alone brings real good creative ideas to the table, and we should consider that as we move into 2024 elections.
Come 2024, we'll have a better idea of how Biden's age plays with voters. For now, don't forget to check out more of Star Parker and Dr. Rashad Richey's opinions on Straight Arrow News.